Welcome, Raiders. We will be switching momentarily. Yep, but now it's time for voices. I mean, I have that same skin. Alright. Okie dokie. Later. Okay. Okay, for some reason D is very tiny. Need to fix. You are, and I'm not sure why. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Oh, that's right. I have it set for Zila for Friday, so I'm not going to change it. Normally I would make it Nash, but I'm not going to change it, so it's good for Friday. Okay. There we go. I'm not going to change.
I was not here first, but I got the first anyway.
This is true.
You beat Celtic. That's a victory in and of itself.
I'm sure Celtic is sleeping right now because it's 10:40. So
yeah. I was enjoying playing up against Chucky today.
I noticed. I still don't know how to pallet stops a 2-foot tall person.
I don't know, but it's hilarious when it does because it completely knocks him down to the ground.
I'm like, how does that work? You're 2 feet tall. Just go under it.
Well, part of his power is going underneath the pallet, but when you get slapped with it, it's like the pallet's low enough to like completely hit it because he's a doll still. He's still a doll. He doesn't have like, you know?
DS?
DS?
I said yes?
Oh. It's like... What's a good example? If a ladder were to fall on you, you would still stagger, right? Even though you're small enough to go underneath it, yes?
I mean, yeah.
That's the same thing going on.
Where's it hitting me at?
It's hitting you on the forehead.
I mean, if it's hitting me on the forehead, I'm probably going unconscious.
Exactly!
Are we saying Sean's the same size as Chucky?
No.
I am like 3 times this height.
This is patently he is much taller than Chucky.
Chucky's fun to loop, though.
Chucky's like 2
I was
feet tall. I'm
enjoying it.
over 6. Okay, let's see. We did that one. We've done the giant doll because that was what unlocked her Potter Modder.
Yeah.
I need to find where door 11 is supposed to be. 12. Bring to me the repenting patriot. Oh, this is Richard.
You know what would be cool?
Hmm.
If he shared the screen.
It is shared. I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's right there.
Uh-huh.
See?
Mhm.
I lost the ability to breathe and speak clearly like 6 hours ago, so I'll do what I can. But
Okay, we have the 400 battle one, which we haven't done. 14 we can't do till we've done all of them. 15 we already did. So as far as star doors go, done, not done. So we have 5. $11, which we have to find. 12. 13. As far as star doors go.
400th battle door, go.
Okay. Star door 13 it
This
is.
board is glitching so badly.
Okay, let me try.
It's pixely black and white. We have lost all color.
Let's try that. Better?
Yeah, that's good. No.
That's such a satisfying door sound.
Should clip the door sound.
I should clip the door sound. That'd be a fun Curse of Strahd sound. If it ever comes up. Oh, okay, this is a read one. Somebody have a strong desire to read, or should I?
I can't read.
I was gonna say the same thing.
All right, Mir, do you have a strong desire to read, or should I?
Are you educated enough, Mira, to read?
Report on the attack on Erebonia's Bracer Guilds. In Septian 1202, many of the branches of the Bracer Guild in Erebonia came under attack in quick succession. The perpetrators were an armed group, but all else about them was unknown, and the guild, along with all connected to it in the nation, fell into a state of confusion. Before long, the Orbital Communications network in the capital was rife with calls and messages, and the situation grew increasingly grave. From Intelligence Division, 1st Subdivision, to General Staff Office. At dawn yesterday, the capital's guild houses were completely destroyed by powerful explosives. According to the 2nd Subdivision's analysis, the explosives were likely set directly below these buildings in the city's underground waterways. Judging by explosive used and means employed, this was the work of professionals. Currently working to confirm the location of potentially dangerous persons within the country. From Intelligence Division 3rd Division to Intelligence Division 1st Subdivision. A Jaeger member has been found among the suspected of entering the country illegally. Thank you. Confirmed to be responsible for logistics in the Jester Jaeger Corps. Keep an eye on other members of the same corps in the country. From Erebonian Bracer Guild to Liberalian Bracer Guild, Grancel Branch. At dawn today, the guild houses in Heimdall came under attack. We are unable to contact the branches charged with overseeing them. We request the aid of high-ranking bracers. This is urgent. We repeat, this is urgent. From Intelligence Division, 1st Subdivision to General Staff. The Bracer Guild here in Erebonia has sent a message to the guild's Grancel branch. Judging by the content of the message, at least one high-ranking bracer will be entering Erebonia in the coming days. We request they be pursued and put under strict surveillance upon arrival. Two days after the assaults began, Cassius Bright, S-Rank, arrived in the Imperial capital. He assumed the post of provisional representative of the Erebonian Guild. After doing so, he assessed the damage to the guilds and called for the bracers assigned to them, who had been scattered in the chaos, to reconvene outside the city. He also ordered a halt to all oral communications to prevent interception by the enemy. By this point, guilds in 6 cities had been attacked, and the Bracer Guild in Erebonia was beginning to struggle to function. The bracers that had not yet been attacked by the requested the army's protection. However, they seemed to be in no hurry to grant their support, making it clear that they could not be counted upon. Meanwhile, the provisional representative was able to estimate the rough location of the enemy supply base from their movements up to that point. And after choosing a small number of bracers who were familiar with the area, he sent them to try and find it. His reasoning for going with this approach was that he concluded the enemy would have to build a supply base inside the country because of how strict Erebonia's border controls are. It did not take long for his lose the battle but win the war strategy to produce results. From Intelligence Division 1st to General Staff. The bracer sent by Liberal's Guild is confirmed to be one Cassius Bright. Bright is an S-rank bracer whose file in our subdivision has him rated as an L4 threat, the second highest level possible. He is also the man believed to have commanded the counteroffensive against the Imperial Army during the 100 Days War. May potentially pose a threat to national security, so he is being carefully watched. From Search Subdivision to General. Attempt to track CB failed. Current whereabouts are unknown. However, as requested by HQ, we have not raised the alert level and have left it as it stands. Several bracers are currently traveling aboard a train. We believe them to be taking part in some kind of operation. From the 1st to General Staff. 6 bracers assaulted the Jaeger's base. Jaegers inside the base were apprehended. We have identified them to be members of the Jester Jaeger Corps. The discovery of the enemy's base revealed that it was a Jaeger Corps known as Jester who was behind the attacks. After this, however, the Jaeger's movements became much more passive, and the two sides entered a deadlock. The stalemate continued for roughly 2 months. During this time, the guild representative made contact with the Intelligence Division and began preparing for an operation that would ultimately allow him to bring the trouble to an end. From 1st to General Staff. CV has made contact with a member of our subdivision, currently in the process of confirming. From 1st to General Staff. The target, CB, has proposed a joint operation, intending to meet him again at the specified date and time. Strategic analysis of the Bracer Guild attack. Hold on. Okay. I choked a little bit on that, sorry.
Are you good?
Yeah. I just choked a little bit there on my own spit. Oh. I'll be good. Strategic analysis of the Bracer Guild attack, Intelligence Division's second subdivision. What eventually broke the deadlock was a brilliant strategy devised by CB. Having successfully made contact with a member of the Intelligence Division, he made them send a message to HQ in the hopes it would be intercepted by the enemy. What happened was exactly that. From the message, they were able to deduce the time and place the next meeting would be happening, and set about plotting his assassination. Exactly what ZB hoped would happen. During the meeting, CB had also given said Intelligence Division member an encoded message. It contained detailed plans for an operation in which the Imperial Army would defeat the Jaegers after they had been lured out by false information. The General Staff Office chose to go ahead with the proposed plan, and after a joint operation with the Bracer Guild, the Jaegers, who had been gathered to assassinate CB, were surrounded and forced to surrender. Furthermore, the remnants of their forces who were in other bases were also defeated after the initial prisoners gave up their locations. Several months after the trouble began, Jester was completely dismantled. From First to General Staff. Raising the threat level of Cassius Bright, S-rank Bracer, effective immediately. Henceforth, he will be regarded as an L5 threat. He poses a severe threat to national security and must be placed under strict surveillance if he ever enters the country again. From First to General Staff. Confirmed that the surveillance target left the country today. His departure was without incident. Handing control over the mission over to our foreign agencies. Transmission over. From GSO Special Investigative Department to His Excellency the Imperial Chancellor. We have also confirmed CB's departure. We shall continue to pursue him, but he has not shown any suspicious behaviors to date. We have yet to confirm any interactions between him and the minstrel. We'll continue to follow their movements. Side story finished. That's a short one.
Lore.
Lure.
That's actually some pretty critical lore too. Just FYI. Okay.
So I assume the minstrel's Olivier. I assume that
Yes.
the Jester of the Jaeger Corps was led by Ouroboros at some point. Because it was Jester.
I cannot confirm or deny.
That means I'm right. Okay. Campanella's like all in the background doing some weird stuff.
Okay, let's see. I need to go find where... Goodness gracious. Let's see. Is it here? Excuse me. I'm assuming it's somewhere in chapter 6. Wait. Wait, where's that at? Oh, snap. I found 11. Those who seek to enter this door must first overcome a trial. Okay, this is just a fight? What is Star Door 11? I'm trying to find what Star Door 11 is. Oh yeah, it's just a battle. Overcome it. Yep. Oh gosh.
I call this Requiem.
Alright,
Enjoy
battle
the show.
over.
Thought that would have been more excessive to use Kevin's, but I guess it wasn't in the end. Didn't knock the big one down.
The report of Phantom Thief B.
I can do the reading on this one if you want.
Yeah, because, man, this... I choked and I can't get my voice back. I have a problem that you had that one day.
Yeah. So, take a break. I'll do it. An investigative report on Phantom Thief B, his crimes, his history, and his true identity. Imperial Chronicle Investigative Team. This might be a struggle for me.
Well, you're doing better than I could.
Yeah. Phantom Thief B has had quite the lengthy and productive career in thievery in the Empire, as the amount of records we have been able to find on his crimes proves beyond a doubt. From numerous paintings held in the Imperial Art Gallery, to a Septian crystal held in the Empire's customs warehouse, to even a cutting-edge tank held in an Imperial Army research facility. Nothing is truly safe when he desires to steal it. His conquests aren't limited to inanimate objects. He has been guilty of pretending to be a military officer and eloping with the wife of a marquis on one reported occasion. Wow.
Excuse me. Wow.
Okay. Yet, and this is perhaps the most baffling part, there is no concrete evidence to suggest he has profited from his exploits. Rather, the objects stolen usually end up in places so bizarre, their owners are liable to faint upon hearing about them. In other cases, they are transformed into mira, which is then rained down from the sky in areas largely inhabited by those less fortunate. Hearing this, one might be led to think him a vigilante thief who takes from the rich and giving to the poor. But make no mistake, I was honestly thinking a modern day Robin Hood, okay?
Yeah.
The truth is not so simple. The wife of the Marquis discussed earlier is a fine example of that. As of this writing, it has been a little over half a year since the elopement took place. Since then, she has remained unaccounted for.
Oh, that's different.
Many of the items stolen by him may return to the public eye in some fashion, but not all. Between his eccentric techniques and bizarre behavior regarding the objects he steals, it might appear as though his thefts are purely whims and nothing else. Upon studying the overall picture and reviewing the objects, and indeed people, in play, you begin to see that they all have one specific thing in common. Take the artwork stolen from the Imperial Art Gallery, for example. Each of them were works of pure genius, painted by a master of their craft. But they gained a reputation for being too complex for the target audience of such works, the nobility, and were shamefully stored away instead of placed on display. Similar could be said of the Septium Crystal. Known for its unparalleled beauty, after being seized by customs, it was sealed away in the warehouse and doomed never to be admired by human eyes again. The tank, again, is one more example, with its promising development cut short. Rather than be put to good use, it was left collecting dust. As an aside, the case of the Marquis' wife does contain some striking similarities. Despite marrying her, he devoted most of his attention to his concubines and barely spared a thought for her. In conclusion, we can see now that the underlying motive for his actions is finding objects of beauty that have been abandoned by the world and freeing them from their foolish owners. No matter how the world may say his crimes, his motive is clear. The truth of that is evident in the cards he leaves before committing his crimes. This is the so-called liberation of beauty mentioned upon each of them. Phantom Thief B steals not for money, but for an ideal he believes in. And it is in this fact, we believe, are clues to his true identity. A number of valid theories have come about on the face behind our famed thief. Unfortunately, they are all as lacking in conclusive proof as they are numerous, and so it is impossible to say whether any of them are actually correct. To complicate matters further, we now even have deranged individuals coming forward pretending to be him and allowing themselves to be captured by law enforcement. That is not to say, however, that none of the theories circulating are at all plausible. Here we will introduce 3 such theories which have developed significant followings and may not turn out to be too far from the truth. Theory 1. Amorous con artist X. X's personal history. X is known for his exceptional skill as a con artist, having faked his own identity in order to engage in romantic relationships with many noblewomen. He was as handsome as he was capable, and he was exceptionally proud in nature as well. Born to a poor family in the temperate South, he became used to stealing in order to make ends meet from a young age. According to testimony from a companion of his at the time, he was never once caught for such thefts. The reason X converted from being a common thief to a con artist is believed to have stemmed from falling in love with a noblewoman of much higher social standing than he. The rule of the aristocracy was absolute in the country he called home, and blessed romances between those of different classes unthinkable. With that in mind, he resolved to create a false identity in order to make his dream possible. Following his first rousing success, he came to do the same on a myriad of other occasions, indulging in one forbidden affair after another. It was a mere 10 years ago that he was arrested on suspicion of identity fraud, but he performed a miraculous escape from prison. Ever since then, his whereabouts have remained unknown. Thoughts. Both X's peerless skills as a thief and his interest in forbidden romances with noblewomen sound remarkably like what we know about Phantom Thief B. Also worth noting is that despite using his abilities of deception to court those of vast wealth, he displayed virtually no interest in their fortunes. Blech. That is to say, he gained no financial benefit from his actions whatsoever. Instead, he simply lamented that he was unable to indulge in them because of something as trivial as his social class. We conclude that this attitude bears a striking resemblance to the thief's own views on beauty. Theory 2. Tragic artist Y. Y's personal history. Y was an artist with a rather tragic past. Born to a middle-class family in the North, he was hired by an influential aristocrat to be their personal artist, producing many a stunning piece of work. However, it was later discovered that wasn't all he produced. On the contrary, he was also responsible for a number of counterfeit pieces. The one who hired him sought to profit through ill means thanks to his work, and so he created such counterfeits under the noble's instructions. One day, however, Y suddenly left the noble's service. The reason remains unknown. This is where his tragedy begins. Immediately after leaving his client behind, Y received a terrible piece of news. His lover, the daughter of a respected family, had been killed in a traffic accident. While there is no evidence to prove as much, it is rumored that the noble may have had a hand in her death. Y was only spotted once more at his lover's grave before forever disappearing from the public eye. To those who knew his story, he became known as a truly tragic artist. Several years later, the noble was murdered. Thoughts. The story of Y still has several unsolved mysteries surrounding it and has invited much speculation, both of which have likely led to the theory that he and Phantom Thief B are one and the same. Those aren't the only reasons, naturally. Phantom Thief B has been known, at times, to try and dispose of counterfeits, believing them to be false beauty. This has led some to believe that Phantom Thief B may be attempting to rid the world of counterfeits and that he himself created. Lending further credibility to this is the discovery that the forgeries disposed of by Phantom Thief B were indeed the works of Y. Theory 3. Skilled martial artist Z. Z's personal history. The story of Z is significantly different from the other two potential identities we have proposed, here making this an unusual, but still plausible, possibility. Z was born in the Far East as the son of a famed military family. He was an attractive, delicately built young man, but he was far more skilled at martial arts than his frame would have suggested, being blessed with great natural talent. He is also said to possess a keen, sharp mind, and there was a mild air of arrogance about him, too. Z was indeed blessed in nearly every way. He came from an important family, he had skill, he had looks. and as a result, he came to feel bored with the world around him. He hardly kept such thoughts to himself. In fact, he often voiced his complaints to anyone within earshot. These complaints persisted until one day he simply disappeared, telling no one where he was going and leaving nothing to suggest his next destination. Thoughts. Much of this theory is based on the idea of geniuses being eccentric by nature. There are some who say that the fighting style of Z has some resemblance to the peculiar skills used by Phantom Thief B. But in terms of credibility, this theory is barely a cut above many other similarly unusual suggestions. Still, the idea that the man beneath the mask is one from the East is certainly an interesting and exciting one, leading many to wish it were true, even if they find themselves doubting it actually is. That brings us to the end of outlining 3 very different theories. Could X, Y, or Z be the true identity of our famed Phantom Thief? Or is the truth perhaps something else entirely? The only way we will know for sure is to hear the truth from the man himself. Of course, whether we can trust anything he says is a discussion for another time. Postscript. After this article was first published, we received a card believed to be from Phantom Thief B himself at our office. The contents of the card are as follows. The truth of my identity is already within your grasp. My number reveals all. Judging by this, it is believed that one of the 3 theories proposed is the true identity of Phantom Thief B. That said, uncovering the meaning behind his words has proven to be a trying task. Will one valued reader be able to step forward and solve what we cannot? Only time will tell. Side story, Phantom Thief B report finished.
What enforcer number is he?
He is gosh, I don't remember what enforcer number he is. Give me a second.
3? No.
No. Enforcer number 10.
10. Oh! I know who it is.
Uh-huh.
I know who it is. Okay. Don't think about it too
think
hard.
about well
don't think
don't think
too hard
about it,
that.
but think about it.
Yeah.
Think about how they list their numbers.
Yeah, how are the enforcer numbers listed?
Mm-hmm. You get it, Xander?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. Enforcer number
I'm sitting
X.
there I was listening to all the stories. I'm like, the first one sounds the most plausible right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, honestly.
Yep. Enforcer number 10 is whoever the Thief X is.
Mm-hmm.
Which we don't know his identity.
B equals X. We have learned today.
Yes, that is true. We do not know who he actually is. However, this is a really short episode, but I'm going to call it because I don't have a voice anymore.
Yeah, you
That's
coughed
fair.
and it broke your voice, didn't it?
Yep. This is literally the extent of my voice currently.
Yep. Take a break.
Yep, so I'm going to end it here, unfortunately. I was hoping to get another one done. But that's not going
Unless
to happen.
it's another reading one that D or
I-
Xander could do.
I don't know if we have another reading one. I think we've done all
Okay.
the reading ones. I'm looking real quick. That's a dungeon.
My voice started going out just from talking all day long, probably by like 4 p.m. So yeah.
Yeah, there's all the rest of them are stories. I think that's all the other reports. So we're just gonna end it here. I'll be right back. Okay, unfortunately, I'm ending it here because I choked and coughed and now I don't have a voice anymore. So I'm going to end this here because I need my voice for work and also for D&D on Friday. So I need to get my voice back. So thank you guys for watching. We're gonna raid out to Lost Initiative. I haven't been able to raid them for a while because I'm never on still when they are. We're gonna raid out to them. Go say hi. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye.